Hey, everybody. Tad Stevens on the Micro Success Secrets podcast, Wednesday workshop. So today is episode 1, and going to go over really what the podcast is going to be on this episode. So this one's going to be a little different. This was going to be kind of like an intro episode, and going forward, we'll follow the structure that I'm going to talk about here in just a minute. Just want to let everybody know that my goal for this is for these to be informal discussion and question sessions with a a weekly theme. This week's theme is going to be getting started and keeping started, but I'll mention more on that later. The way I'm thinking of this is running this kind of like a SCORE mentor program or group, where we just get on. I have a certain approach that I like to follow that I've developed over the years, and am going to do that, but in I guess the spirit of how SCORE works. And if you're not familiar with SCORE, SCORE is an arm of the Small Business Administration that helps and mentors small businesses in their local area for free. And I've been a SCORE mentor for about 2 or 3 years. I'm the SCORE marketing chair this year for the Denver chapter, which is really cool. Thinking about doing some stuff there with the podcast as well. But that's going to be the basic, I guess, format or structure of this. Is it's going to be informal. We're going to talk about whatever it is that people want to talk about. At the same time, I'm going to have a weekly theme. And like I said, this week's going to be getting started and keeping started. So real quickly, the way I like to structure my marketing discussions with individuals or companies or small groups is I break all of my marketing discussions down into 3 parts. And I'm pretty rigid on the 3 parts because it strips away a lot of the fluff, gets people to the core of what they're doing or what they want to be doing. And that structure is this. It consists of 3 parts: offers, traffic, and a funnel or automation. And if you call it offers, traffic, and automation, and you rearrange it a little bit, it's the Tao of funnels. And I was going to develop a product and call it that a couple years ago. Tao, T meaning traffic, O meaning offers, and A meaning automation. And Tao is the like Chinese or Eastern philosophy of the study of the working in. It's your discipline, so to speak, the way I look at it. But the Tao of funnels just wasn't sexy. I mean, it just didn't it didn't sound good. I mean, it worked. I mean, the acronym worked, and so that was kind of cool. But the main thing here is that I always look at things in terms of offers, traffic, and funnels, and in that order. So TAO or TOA or whatever wouldn't have really um, worked like that if I'd rearranged it. But I look at it in offers, traffic, funnel, or automation order because it is my belief that you have to have an offer or a good solid idea of an offer, or you're going to be spinning your wheels and bouncing off shiny objects for a long time, unless you just hit it out of the park first time, which I haven't seen a whole lot. And I've been mentoring people in SCORE, like I said, for 2 or 3 years. I've been consulting and talking to other people about their marketing, online marketing, for about 7 years. And I've been doing funnels specifically for myself and other people for about 4 years. So I've talked to dozens and dozens of people, and 90 to 95% of them, I don't have exact numbers, look at things other than in that order: offers, traffic, and funnels. And when they do that and they don't have a solid offer, then they don't really know what they're offering, so they don't really know who to target. And so they end up bouncing around the latest, greatest thing because it's what catches their attention. And that is the downfall of, like I said, 90 to 95% of the people I talk to. They just don't have the focus to develop things in a sequential manner to get them to where they want to be, or that has the greatest probability of getting them to where they want to be. Now, I say that without judgment of anybody, because I am the world's worst. If you think you've bounced around at shiny objects, I guarantee you, I will almost guarantee you that I have been more bouncy, more shiny objecty than probably the three closest people to me doing this. I'm horrible. Was horrible. Much better now. I've put myself through a shiny object intervention, and I'm doing much better. But I still get distracted. The thing that got me focused, or one of the key components to getting me focused and keeping me focused, was getting that offer. Because once I have that offer, I don't have to worry about what I'm offering. I don't have to worry about, oh, what will work in this situation or that situation. No, I flip it. It's what situations will my offer work in? And if my offer won't work in a situation, then I don't do that. That is the focus. And in fact, I talked to a gentleman yesterday who has a great product. I mean, really looks solid. He's been doing it for years and years. It just doesn't fit my offer, or didn't fit my offer. And I suggested that we not do anything because of that. And he agreed. I mean, we talked about it and he agreed. He was kind of wanting me to consider getting outside my offer, but that's the discipline. Stay in your lane. As I can't remember who told me this, but you've heard stay in your lane, and then expand your lane slowly. That's the way you grow. Trying to do everything for everybody, you end up doing nothing for anyone very well if you get that far. So first off, you got to have an offer. Once you have an offer, it doesn't have to be built, it just has to be designed. And when I say designed, I mean 3 to 7 bullet points, or the old 5 plus or minus 2 bullet points, main bullet points of your offer, something that you could deliver, you could deliver. And this is key on this. You've got to be able to deliver it, and deliver it well. Something you can deliver well, say 5 bullet points, and then 2 to 3 sub bullet points with each one of those. And those are defined, at least in your mind, when you write it down on paper. You can do that. You can know you can do bullet point 2 point, or bullet 2.3 without a problem. If you had to, you could jump on the phone, jump on a Zoom, deliver that to a client, to a prospect, or at least pitch it to a prospect, and you know that you can deliver it to them. Once you get your offer to that point, again, not built, just designed. Once you get to that point, now you can look at and you can say, okay, who is my target audience? Who would just salivate over this offer? Who would this fit better than anybody else out there? Who would be ready to jump on this today? Who would be willing and able to pay for it? And when I say pay for it, the way I price things is based on the value they get, not the value it costs me. Now, it has to cost me less than I can get from it. And my rule of thumb is it's low cost to me, high value to them. Once I get it to that point, then I can look for those people. Once I get my offer to that point, I can look for those people. And I mean, they're ready to go. If you've ever read Chet Holmes, oh gosh, what is the name of his book? The Cash Machine. I've got it right here somewhere. Excellent book. One thing that I took out of that, well, 2 things that I took out of that. One is that you don't get successful by doing 1,000 things one time each. You get successful by doing one thing 1,000 times each. The second thing, and what I'm talking about here, is that he believed that there was always 3% of your target audience that was ready to buy from you today. If you got your offer in front of them, they would buy from you today. And that is who you market to, because who is willing to buy from you today may not be willing to buy from you tomorrow. And who is not willing to buy from you today or tomorrow may be willing to buy from you 3 days from now, a week from now, a month from now. So my approach is you get your offer solid. You know who it's going to just knock it out of the park for, and you can deliver it. And then you go get it in front of those people. in a way that you're always going to know that at some point you're going to be touching or getting in front of that 3% that will buy from you today. That's what brings in the buyers for your offer. That is the traffic you look for. You don't talk to somebody that might want it. You don't talk to somebody that will never want it. I believe Chet's strata on his percentages was 3% will buy from you today. The next 7% might buy from you soon or today. And then the next, 30% or so will buy from you eventually. The next 30% or so might buy from you, they might not. And then the last 30% will never buy from you ever. So, don't market to that 90% that are not ready or that are not willing and able to buy from you today. Now, if you can localize or really target that 3%, that's who you want to go after. But when you're developing your messaging to get in front of your audience, you message, or I do anyway, I message to that 3% always. That's who I talk to, because what I found getting people on the phone, if my targeting is done well and my messaging is done well, I will get on the phone. I will get with somebody who I'm almost in the way of them giving me money because they want it so bad. You got to get those. I mean, it is so much easier and so nicer. They are a much better client. They're willing and able to pay, and they're serious. They show up to calls. They do the homework. They get the assets that you ask them to get because they want it done. They are looking for that result, and they know what they want, or at least they got a pretty good idea what that, but they're looking for that result, and they're willing to work with you and pay you to get it. So that's it. All right. Then after you get those two, after you get your offer and your traffic down, then you can look at automation or funnels. I can't tell you how many people I talk to that say, oh, I got XYZ funnel product and I'm going to go do it now and make money. Okay. What's your offer? Well, I don't have one yet. Who's your traffic? Well, I don't know those people either. That is shiny object syndrome poster example. And that's the way I was for a long time. I thought, oh, if I just get this tool, things are going to be great. I mean, my life is going to be just financially done for me. I mean, because I have this tool and I have this approach, and it doesn't work that way. I have found that, again, you get your offer first, then you define your traffic in as much detail and possibility and emotion, desires, wants, and we'll go into this more later, but you really define your target audience as much as you possibly can. And I mean, I spend more time defining my target audience probably than anything else, probably more than my offer. But maybe not. Anyway, we'll talk more about that. And then after you get those two down, then you go and you look at your funnel. And honestly, the tool is irrelevant to me. I have worked with a woman who used to, she had a Facebook group. She had a couple hundred people that were fans, just liked her Facebook, no, wasn't a group, excuse me, Facebook page. They just liked her page. And every quarter or so, every 3 months or so, she would put her offer out there, which was anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500. It was a health and wellness, cleansing, detox, get on the right track type program. And she would just say, hey, I'm having another session this quarter. Anybody who wants to join in, please let me know. And she would sell 3 or 4 of them, 5 or 6 sometimes, at $2,500 to $3,500 a piece. She had no funnel other than the Facebook page. She had no website. She had no payment processor formally. I mean, I think she just sent them if I remember right, she sent them a PayPal pay button. And that's how she operated. And she was great at it and did well at it. It's not the tool. I mean, yeah, you need something. You got to have a phone or somewhere to talk to them, or email or something like that. But you don't need ClickFunnels. You don't need Keap. You don't need, you really don't need any of that stuff until you get your offer and your targeting right, your offer and your traffic right. Getting all that other automation and stuff, yeah, you're going to need it at some point, or maybe, but you don't start there. You do that last. So anyway, that is my basic approach. That is what we're going to talk about on Wednesday workshops. If anyone has any questions, please bring them. You can submit them via email. And as we get along, we'll have a better way to submit them. The Facebook group is going to be by far the best place to go because there's software there. You can put comments and I'll put a post out there that you can submit questions to that we can talk about. Also going to stream it to the Facebook group, and eventually we'll stream to other platforms as well, looking at YouTube, Instagram, and possibly some others. And that's pretty much it. Any questions, please post them in the Facebook group. Send me an email at service@microsuccessful.com. And hope you enjoy the podcast. I hope you enjoy the interviews that are also part of this podcast, and have a great rest of your week. Bye.